Hey y'all, Amanda here from Just Be Well Yoga. I'm so excited to be joining you today. I'm going to chat a little bit about our intro session and things that we do in aerial basics. So we get a lot of questions about how different aerial is or how hard it is and all these kinds of things. And I think a lot of that just comes with not being very familiar with the modality. So I'm going to chat a little bit about what the sling is, how it works, give you a couple beginner's poses so that you are more comfortable and you know a little bit more about what to expect in class. All right, I'll see you up there. Okay guys, so I want to tell you a little bit about our slings. So the slings come in some different fabrics. Ours are not stretchy, some of them are stretchy. You can also find slings that have handles and things like that that hang on them. Some of those, the brand name I believe is Yoga Trapeze. That's not what we have in the studio, we just have a traditional yoga hammock. And so when it hangs heavy like this underneath its anchor point, it's called a loop and it's right underneath the plumb line. So we use the plumb line whether in front of or behind or directly underneath depending on what type of sensation we're trying to get out of our pose. When it's closed and all scrunched up like this, it's called a closed sling. When we grab one edge and we shake it out, it's nice and long. This is called an open sling, and then when we thread our hand through the center, fold it back on itself, that's a half fold. So we use these different variations just depending on what we're doing in our poses and what sensation or we're trying to get or take away. So like an open sling is a lot less sensation than a closed sling. We offer, when we do our regular fly classes, we take the slings to just below the hip bone for most of our traditional fly yoga classes. When we do restorative, we drop them low, so they're about mid-shin, and then when we do strength, we actually can raise them up a little bit if we're going to be doing more inversions and things like that. So you always want to double check when you go in to take aerial anywhere that the rigging is really secure, that they have had everything inspected by a structural engineer, professional rigger, and just so that everything is safe and secure. You also want to double check your hammock because things get missed and you just want to make sure that you're in a safe environment. So you want to make sure that there's no runs or holes or anything like that in your hammock. If there is, just go ahead and quietly off to the side, let the instructor know so that they can take care of whatever needs to be taken care of. You also want to double check that everything looks secure at the top and that you're really solid on some sort of beam or something like that. Just making sure that you have as much stability as you can over you. So we use a single point hammock in our studios, so it's only attached to one single point at the top. You'll also see hammocks that are attached at two separate points. It just depends on the style of the class, the style of the teacher, and the style of the studio. Not good or bad, just different. So that's a little bit about how we use our silks in studio and a little beginner flow for you up next. We're so glad that you joined us and have a great rest of your day.
Okay, so we're going to start here on our knees. Wrap your hands through the fabric, down towards your chest and back towards yourself. This is going to give you your handcuff grip. Drop your chest towards the floor. On your inhale, bend your elbows, lift your chest, lift your tailbone. Exhale, straighten the arms, round the back, tuck the chin, just like cat-cow here. A few more breaths. Inhale as you bend the elbows. Exhale as you straighten the arms. And then coming back up to neutral, unwrap the arms and use the sling to help you up to stand. Slide your right leg in so the sling comes just behind your ankle and use your arm to swing your leg. Each inhale you'll open and exhale you'll cross. Make this a really organic, gentle movement. Right hip stays heavy towards the ground and then coming back to neutral. Take your left hand to the outside of the sling, draw your right arm back. As you slide that right thigh bone back, take your right hand to the inside of the sling and left arm back, keeping the hips neutral. And then one hand to each pole, drop the chest, bend the elbows. Just getting a little bit of a hamstring stretch here. Cross the arms. So the sling crosses and wraps you in as you lift. Gently release. Step through the fabric, bring your upper body through the fabric, and then slide it on out the other side. You can also just take the leg out and switch sides. So same thing as on the other side, use the hand to open and close the leg here, letting the hip be heavy to the ground, getting a little bit more range of motion than you would on your mat. As you come back through center, right hand takes to the outside of the sling, left arm back. Another inhale, and exhale back to center. Left hand to the inside, right arm reaches back, working the hips neutral to the front end of your mat. And come back to center. One hand to each pole. Deep inhale, exhale as you fold. Let the jaw be soft. As you come back up to center, cross the poles. Take the backs of the hands in to lift. And then gently release. This time you'll just slide that foot out. Take the poles behind you. You want it just below the shoulder blades for your backpack. Your feet slightly in front of your hips. Inhale, reach the arms high. Interlace the fingers. Exhale, fold to the right. Nice side body stretch here. Inhale to center and exhale to the left. Again, inhale back to center. Hands to the poles, and on your exhale, walk yourself forward. So you're going to be under your plumb line, your anchor point here. Exhale as you roll the hips up. Inhale as you drop the hips, let them hang heavy. Again, exhale, roll up, take the elbows in, tuck the chin. Inhale, press the poles away, drop the head back, just like cat-cow. Take a few more rounds. Your breath leads your movements. Inhale. Exhale as you round. And cross your right ankle over your left thigh here for figure 4. Just making sure you're staying slightly lifted in the shoulders. Allow that right knee to drop towards the floor. And then inhale, straighten the leg, reach the arms high overhead. Exhale the hands back to the poles, uncross, and slide that foot behind you, knee down for a lunge. Slide your hands up the poles, let the head drop back. Nice supported low lunge, and then step back to your chair pose. Cross your left ankle over your thigh. Take a deep inhale. And then just let the knee drop heavy towards the floor. Reach the leg to straight. Inhale the arms high overhead. Exhale the hands back to the poles. As you bend the knee, slide that left foot back. Low lunge, back knee down. Slide the hands up and drop the head back. Good. Come back to your chair pose. Walk yourself back so that you have a little bit of slack in your sling. Step your right foot forward for warrior 2. Coming right underneath your plumb line here, making sure that you're not fighting your fabric. Slide that right arm up the fabric as you lean back for your reverse warrior, taking the sling just to the low ribs, under the chest. And then same thing on the other side, slide it under the chest and back to the left hand to lean forward for side angle. You can use the poles here to turn the chest open more. Take another inhale. Stay on your exhale. And then inhale, bring yourself back up. Parallel the feet, turn the heels in, toes out, take the hands high. Use the upper body to hold you here in your goddess. Maybe sway side to side, opening the thighs. And then as you lift up, slide it back underneath your low ribs. And we're going to take a big circle here, stretching forward, and then all the way back. And then switch directions. Roll the belly forward. One more round. And then coming back through center into goddess. Use the arms to help you up to stand. Facing back to the top edge of your mat, step your right foot back for your warrior 2. Double checking you're under your plumb line. Left hand slides up. Right arm back. Reverse your warrior. Another inhale. Exhale, make your way back up. Dive behind your sling, so the sling comes under your chest to the right-hand side. Reach the left arm to the ground for side angle. Continuing to open that left knee towards the left-hand side. Another inhale. And on your exhale, come back up. Spin yourself to the top edge of your mat, step up, and then step behind your sling here. You're going to bring it down just below the hip bones. Take a deep breath in, and then exhale, fold. Inhale, find a halfway lift, lengthen the spine, maybe bend the knees. Exhale, fold, hands down, feet step back for downward facing dog. This is where you'll adjust here. One hand to each pole, press it back underneath your hip bones. Extend through the shoulders. Soften the jaw. Inhale, shift forward for plank, lift the feet, letting that sling hold you up. Squeeze the glutes, and then exhale back again, down dog. Again, inhale, shift forward, lift, squeeze the inner thighs, reach through the toes. Exhale, down, back. Good. One more inhale, lift up, reach through the toes. This time play with lifting one hand to one pole. Release that right hand down. Reach the left hand back, lift the chest. Lower the left hand down and press back again, downward facing dog. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, shift forward, high plank. Slide that right hand up the pole, then play with lifting both hands. Feet will lift, squeeze the inner thighs, inner glutes. Reach the left hand up to the sling. Draw shoulder blades together, press the chest forward here. Touch the feet back down one at a time, hands release. And press back again, downward facing dog. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, step your feet forward to your hands. Nice forward fold and roll up to stand. Slide out of your sling and come all the way down to the floor. Slide one foot at a time in the sling, heels in, toes out. Lay on your back, just like legs up the wall. Take the arms wide. Little sways side to side, let the hips release. And then just pause here on your back. Enjoy the fact that you tried something new. Appreciating your practice. Roll yourself up to a seat. And we'll talk to you soon. Namaste.